I see you stumbled across my channel. Welcome in, welcome in. Wipe your feet. Thank you. Now, as you can probably tell by clicking on my channel, this is my first video ever. So, it means so much to me that you would click on my video and want to spend a little time, hang out. And just so you know, I'm a long time content consumer, first time producer. So, if this sucks, be nice. Now, with that all out of the way, welcome to Kenny's Corner. My name is Kenny. This is my corner, and in my corner, I'm going to be taking you on the perilous journey of pulling myself out of a creative slump. One that I've been in and out of for years, really. I think it's natural for people to have hobbies and kind of fall off and maybe come back to it, but for me, it's a little different just because I'm super into reading and writing, but I just have the hardest freaking time sticking to it. Pulling teeth is easier because I just cannot focus. And if you're anything like me, you're also like the creative type where you love to read, you love to write, but you'll start a book and then you'll get a couple chapters in, maybe fall off a little bit, and then you'll just drop it for months, or you'll want to write something and you'll have so many good ideas, but getting it from out of your brain and onto paper or to your screen or whatever is asking the world of you because you just get overwhelmed by all the ideas that you may have, all the options or the directions that you can go in, or maybe you're caught up on the words not sounding just right, and then you just end up abandoning hello, are you having a stroke? Abandoning it before it even really becomes something, And you may have heard of this person being described as ambitious but lazy. I've heard that all over TikTok. And for me, I would describe it less as lazy, more as I have crippling ADHD mixed with a handful of decision paralysis and just a dash of a lack of self-confidence, and mix that baby together, you get me, And the reason it's so easy for me to fall off of writing in particular, it's so easy for me to fall off because me and consistency, we are not friends at all, okay? It's on site every time I see her, okay? I can't for the life of me. I will start something and then immediately fall off, and then it's it takes so much, or it takes watching other content creators doing something that I really want to do or feel like I should have been doing for me to be like, hey, why did I let go of that? Why did I drop that for so long? Let me get back on that. And then it just becomes this vicious cycle, but there's there's no real consequence sounds kind of strong, but for lack of a better word, there's no real consequence for me not sticking with it, and so I just kind of end up seeing other people doing what I really want to do. Without that consistency and that discipline, I just find it super hard to actually keep going. But recently I've been pushed back into starting my creative journey again, because with the state of the world being the absolute dumpster fire that it is, I really wanted to go back to things that I did enjoy and did actually have a desire to do, have that desire to create, but just push past those obstacles that kind of keep me in that loop, And I also knew that I wanted to create a space to explore that creativity, but also hold myself accountable for when I do inevitably tend to slip, and thus Kenny's Corner was born. So that is correct. I'm tasking you with holding me accountable. My thought process is, if people are expecting content from you where you're they're expecting content where you're reading, writing, being creative, that's gonna force me to read, write, and be creative, because it's the same stuff that it's the same mindset I had in when I was in college, where it was I wouldn't always have the motivation to like complete assignments for myself, I did it, but I would always do it like really fucking like sorry. I would always do it really last minute, or like I would have all the time to do it and then I'd wait to the very last minute and then I'd just rush and get it done. But when I was in group projects, I could not be that kid that was holding everybody back. I refused to let that be me. So I would be the one that was taking on that more like in charge role, like my shit's on time, my stuff's on time. I'm checking with other people, making sure that, things are being done when they need to be. So I was like, let me just do that with you guys, Because if you're wanting to see me and see the stuff that I make, then I have further reason to keep doing it. That, and also, I'm a pretty introverted person, but when it comes to things that I'm interested in, like say it's like shows, movies, whatever, if I'm currently obsessed with it, I'm going to yap about it a lot. And unfortunately for me, sometimes my friends aren't really into like the shows or whatever that I'm currently obsessed with. And so, like, instead of just boring them with stuff they don't care about, I'm gonna just make a little community and just bring it to YouTube, and just talk to you guys about it. Because I'm sure there's someone out there that's watching this right now that is currently obsessed with the exact same things that I am. And I just wanna make a space where we can just yap about it. Have a little discourse in the comments or whatever, and just share what we're currently into. But for this video specifically, I did have some goals I wanted to do for getting myself back into reading and writing. And firstly, it was to build a TBR and do some story plotting and character plotting for a writing project that I'm working on, which I'm super excited about. And I look forward to actually getting further than I usually do in my writings. But first, the TBR. So come with me, come with me. Okay, so over here is my mini library. It's just a bunch of books that I've collected over the years. And have I read them? No. Well, I should say I've read like a few of them, but not nearly as much as I should have for however many years I've actually had these books. Um, I definitely should have been, locked in. But like I said, that slump was crazy, and I could not lock in, and I was doing everything but read my books. Okay, but it's okay because we're back in. Um, so you're probably thinking to yourself, Kenny, that's a perfect place to start. To build your TBR. You've got a bunch of books you already have. You haven't read most of them. Just like, wipe the dust off a couple of them and start it from there. And is that a good idea? Yeah. Is that what we're going to do? No. No. See, because every reader knows, especially one that is coming out of a reading slump, they know that there's only one place that you go when you're trying to build a TBR or get back in the groove and you're actively avoiding every book you already have. Now look, hear me out. Shut up, okay? Listen. All the books that I have, I'm for my TBR, I'm trying to go for a specific kind of vibe, because I'm getting into like, the creature supernatural kind of vibe, because it ties to a writing project that I'm working on currently, and it's in the realm of the supernatural, but I don't really have like any books that fit the vibe of what I'm trying to go for. So I did grab a book that is going along with a book that I already started for my TBR, which was Immortal Dark, because I had just finished Sinners, and boy, let me tell you, that movie, it altered my brain chemistry. That's literally my favorite movie of it. First, when I first watched it, it was just my favorite movie of 2025. But then I saw it again, and I was like, no, that's just my favorite movie now, right? Ryan Coogler, he really did his thing with that. And it just put me in the mood for vampires, which is crazy because one thing about me, when it comes to vampires versus werewolves, I'm a werewolf girl all day. Okay, love me a werewolf down bad. But that movie, it just put me in the mood, not just for vampires, but black vampires specifically. Like I was off the kick of Interview with the Vampire. I watched that, like the TV show, and so good, so good, so good, so good. And then later, Sinners came out, and I was like, damn, are y'all trying to turn me into a vampire girl? I could be persuaded. I truly could be persuaded. Like I need more. I need more werewolf content, you know. But they're trying to turn me into a vampire truther, and honestly, maybe I'm not mad at it. Um, but to go along with Immortal Dark, I got Tender Beasts by is it Leslie Sambury? And it doesn't say it in the synopsis, but just going off of like the cover alone, it looks like it's gonna be about werewolves. If you've read this book, let me know. Don't tell me exactly, like if I'm wrong, don't tell me what it is. Just let me know, like, oh, it's not about werewolves, but it looks like it is. I hope it is. If so, that's gonna eat. Okay. So yes, I'm adding that, and I was also gonna get. I think it's called Blood Like Magic. I think that one's witches, and when I was at Barnes and Noble, they have the second one, which I think it's Blood Like Fate, something like Fate. But the first one I wanted to get because I'd always seen it whenever I did like take trips to Barnes and Nobles. I've always seen it, and it was kind of calling to me, but just I never got it. But so I went there today to check it out, and it wasn't there. So whoever got it, I hope you're enjoying it, babe. But also, I'm mad because I wanted it. And how dare you get a book when I want the book? Rude. But I'm probably just gonna order it offline or just go back in a couple days and check it. But I did want to add that to the supernatural TBR. Um, so hey, maybe sure she got books when she already had a bunch that she could have read from, but at least these serve a purpose, because I'm also not only are they like working to get me back in the groove of reading, but also to have some material to study from, and, find some good material to like get some inspiration from, and find new writing styles that I might want to emulate or something like that, just to enhance my work. So it was not complete without purpose, and so you're like, okay, fine, that's cool. You got the books, you're starting a TBR, they're related to like a writing project, which is also going to help you, with your other goal of like uh breaking back into writing. So like, I mean, those books serve purpose, cool, and that's all you got, right? No, I also had to get this. um I have a reason. I promise. I swear to you. I wanted it. Like, one thing about me too. Another thing about me. I love me a pretty book. Okay, I love a good, beautiful hardback book, and this was just calling my name. I love Wicked. Like, I was locked in when that movie first came out in theaters. Um, got my ticket, and it was incredible. It was phenomenal. Another movie that altered my brain chemistry. Have I seen the play? No, don't want to desperately. But it was beautiful, and I got the ebook version of like I think the first book in the Wicked series that I was going to read before the movie came out, but then I didn't. And I didn't finish it, but I saw this and I was like, I've been wanting to like actually finish that series too, especially since the second movie's coming out soon too. So I at least wanted to like get a good way through just so I can have some backstory of like the actual story, because from what I've read and what I've heard, this gets really freaking crazy. But yes, I wanted it and added I wanted to get this book just because it was pretty, and I love Wicked, and I think it would be a great addition to my collection, which I will be going through. Okay, I promise they're not just gonna be here for display. I will be reading more of these. Okay, but I'm just dipping a toe back in. Okay, so that time will come. And then also, I just got me a cute little bookmark. What can I say? I like pretty things. All right. But yeah, so that's gonna be what I have for my TBR. So that's what I'm gonna be working on for the next couple weeks, however long it takes me to read. But I'm super excited for the supernatural TBR. I have not read a like actual like creature book in I don't even know how long. It's been too long, too long. But we're gonna be fixing that. So hey girl. So it's a new day. Well, new night. A few days later since the last clip. And we're finally entering phase 2 of Escape the Slump. And phase 1, as you saw, was just building the TBR and getting books ready that will kind of like spark some spark some inspiration, get those creative juices flowing for the writing project that I'm working on. And I went ahead and already ordered Blood Like Magic, so that's going to be coming in soon to add to the TBR. And so currently it's still just Immortal Dark and Tender Beast that I have over here. And now we're going to be entering phase 2, which is actually reading the books. So I'm going to do something I don't typically do, and we're going to kind of switch between stories. I'm gonna read them simultaneously, because typically what I would do when I would read a book is just start that book and like it's like, okay, you have to finish it. You know, you can't pick up another book, read things side by side or anything like that, which made it easier for me to just kind of fall off of it. Because like whenever you want to take a break from a book, you know, some people just go to something else, but me, it's like, well, you can't start another one, so do literally anything else other than read. And then 2 months had passed and then I still haven't touched the book. So we're doing something new to change that, and I'm going to be reading Tender Beast and Immortal Dark kind of simultaneously, just so like when I get like need a break from one book, I can go to something else. Or secret third option, I'm gonna start practicing drawing, because recently, as I was getting like all this motivation and inspiration for and like I new ideas for the writing project, I really wanted to learn how to draw so I could actually like see my characters and like visualize what they look like, because to me it just adds so much more to the story, and it kind of like helps me like connect to them more. When I can like see specifically what they look like. And it's a pretty bold endeavor, because I have no experience with drawing. I have so many artist friends and like they're amazing drawers, but me, no. I can't think of I think the last time I did anything related to drawing was like an art class in high school. So, but we're learning from scratch, and like there's nothing like picking up a new hobby, you know? And since we're starting this whole journey into creativity, why not pick up a new hobby, you know? And just kind of see how that builds over time. But yeah, so that's something I'm going to be learning how to do too. So instead of just like, if I stop reading for whatever reason, instead of just like mindlessly scrolling on like TikTok or whatever, I can have a new little hobby to keep going on, and you know, to practice on, and kind of get my mind and my attention span right, because baby, my attention span is fucked. Like it's been so bad, and it doesn't help that I know I already have like my ADHD undiagnosed, but like I know I have it. So it's already like my attention span is already chopped from that, but then spending so much time on TikTok has like made it severely worse, and we're trying to remedy that, you know? So instead of doom scrolling on TikTok, it's gonna be practicing new hobbies. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna start on Tender Beast, and I'm just gonna read until I stop feeling like reading. So Hello there. We seem to keep meeting at night for some reason. Uh, New day, same place. I guess this is just where my inspiration hits me, in my bed at 11:35 p.m. Um, but right now, instead of reading, we are now working on some more writing for my little story project. Um, and I'm kind of just doing some more prep work for actually starting like writing scenes and stuff, and also prep work for, spoiler alert, my next video. I'll tell you more about that later. But as you can see, I'm in bed just doing a little bit of that, and just getting like some foundation, getting the foundations kind of set for my writing, because I've tried to be a right by the seat of your pants kind of girl. It did not work. It did not work. So I've learned that I need some kind of like structure or some kind of like framework for what I'm actually writing. I can't just like hop into a scene and do it, because it'll just take me forever to crank it out, So yeah. So far it's going really good, as you can see by my little iPad. I was just hit with like tons of inspiration, and I've just, ooh, wrong way, LOL. But I was doing a lot of backstory lore for the main story, because that's kind of how my ideas start. Like, I'll have a certain scene in mind, and then the story will kind of go like center from that and like branch out from that. But yeah, it's really gotten me inspired to keep going, and now that I have like a good idea from where the story came from, I have a better idea or more motivation to like write where it's gonna go, or at least where the main story is gonna go, if that made any sense. I don't know. But yeah, so just hang with me for a little bit, watch me do some research and a little bit more writing. And yeah. All right, friends, welcome back. Today is a new day, and I'm very excited because after our little writing sesh last night, where I was focusing on some backstory lore for the main plot, I felt like I came up with a lot of ideas for the actual main story. So today I'm going to be working on plotting for Act 1, maybe Act 2. We'll see, but definitely we're getting the plot points for Act 1. So the starting event all the way up to the turning incident that's gonna transfer over to or lead us into Act 2. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on that, and I'm gonna be trying a method that I've never actually done before, but I've seen other people do it, other creators, especially one of my favorites, Sincerely V. I saw her do this, and now I want to give it a shot. But it's the sticky note method, where you're kind of like just writing out point for point what's happening on sticky notes, and people will do it for like Act 1 sticky notes, Act 2 sticky notes, Act 3 sticky notes. So that's what I'm going to be working on. But before we get into that, I did want to show you something that I did. If you remember from a little bit ago, I had mentioned a secret third option of learning to draw so I could draw my characters. I actually did draw a little something, just to try out drawing, because I think I mentioned it in the last clip. The last time I drew something was like in high school because I'm not an artist. But all of the videos that I was watching on drawing was like, oh, when you're first starting out, find like a little reference picture and try and copy it or whatever, just to practice drawing what you see or whatever. So I went on good old Pinterest, love Pinterest. Me and her are like this, okay? Um, and I found a picture from one of my favorite artists, Likelihood Art, because oh my gosh, her art is just. If I could draw, I would want my art to look like that. It's just, I could see my characters in her art style so perfectly. So, Likelihood Art, just so you know, I'm trying to get like you one day, okay? But I took one of your photos and one of your pictures. I was on Pinterest and I tried to recreate it, and just to, get the art juices flowing. I don't know, but okay. Guys, look what I did. Look. Don't talk about her big ass forehead, okay? She's sensitive about it, alright? But I'm kind of proud, low key, especially considering, like, I know, okay, so this eye is a little bit, a little bit wonky. The forehead's kind of big, and those eyebrows kind of atrocious. I am kind of proud of the lips, though, and I low key kind of like the nose. But okay, so here's what I did. Here is, oh, microphone. Here's a reference photo, so you can let me know how well I did in the comments. Like I said before, be nice to me. No, I'm just kidding. If it's trash, let me know. But I'd say I did a pretty good job for first time drawing in too many years. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. So that's something I'm also gonna be like working on here and there in the background, just doing more doodles, getting better at it, and seeing where I can take it so I can draw my characters, because like I see them so vividly in my brain. I just need my skills to match what's going on up here, because up here it's creative city, all right? I just need the practical skills to get it out, but we'll get there. But okay, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I've got my sticky notes right over here, and I'm just gonna be spending some time just getting all these plot points down, and yeah, just follow along with me. Okay, so it's a little bit later in the day, a lot later in the day actually, after I finished the sticky notes for Act 1, or at least I got a good portion through Act 1. I left to go get some dinner, hang with my brother, and I just wanted to make sure I went ahead, came back and wrapped everything up um for my first video, guys. Oh my god, oh my god. That was crazy. I will say about the sticky note method, I see the issues that V was having in her video, because she also had something similar to where like she's trying to stick the sticky notes up, but they just were not staying on the wall. And I'm having the same issue, and I don't have any tape, so they were all just kind of falling off. But I made about, like, so far just made about 7 of these for Act 1. I think there's definitely still some things I want to add to it. um I definitely want to add some more beats to it, just to make sure I'm getting everything I want to say out in Act 1 and introducing everything correctly. But I'm going to be doing some more writing next week, which is a day from now, starting Monday. Um, so stay tuned for that, because that's going to be what the next video is over. But I just wanted to say I felt really good about this week. I felt very productive. I've done more writing for this project in the last week than I have in like the last couple months. So I will say that my hypothesis of me recording myself and putting it up is gonna push me more to actually like work on my project. I can say it's working so far. I hope to keep this energy up, and I hope that if you're watching, if you're pursuing some kind of creative endeavor, whether it's writing, art, music, just whatever, if you're creating something, hopefully this motivates you to start or restart or keep going, whatever it is. And I just want to thank you so much for following along. It's been so fun, actually. I did not think I was gonna have as much fun as I did. It was kind of awkward here and there, just trying to think of what to say, and but thankfully me like writing that script definitely helped. But yeah, I've been having so much fun. I'm looking forward to the next video. I'm so excited to get started on that. Um, and yeah, I appreciate you for hanging out with me. Let me be a cliche YouTuber, since that's what I am now. Oh my gosh. So like, comment, and subscribe. um, Feel free to talk to me in the comments below. Let me know what you thought, if you're working on anything, if you also feel the same kind of, if you're in a burnout or a little slump, or if you got out of one. Let me know some comments, tips down below. What helped you get out of it. If you're a writer, let me know if you have any writing processes that you like to do, or if there's anything that you're currently reading anything, let me know. Just start a conversation down below. But yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.